Elvis met George Klein when they attended Humes High School in Memphis. Klein was the president of the senior class, and Elvis was an outcast. But they were drawn together and became friends for life. He remembers Elvis's experiences with the football coach.
We had a real old school type coach, Rube Boyce. Didn't take any kidding around. He was just straight ahead football, and a tough guy. And Elvis only tried out his senior year. He didn't try out. And the coach gave him a hard time because of his hair. And so, the coach was kidding him pretty good. So Elvis said, heck, I don't need this. But see, by the time you get to be a senior at our high school, Humes, if you were a senior and you had passing grades, they would let you out the last class. The last class was usually study hall. And so you could leave at 2:15 instead of 3:15 if you had a job. Well, Elvis said, to heck with this, because, he wasn't the richest guy on the block, and so he wanted to get out a little bit early, but the football, you had to stay in practice. So that messed up his working thing he had going. So he said, I don't need this. So Elvis just quit the football team. That was the reason. And then the other story about that was they had a football banquet. And after Elvis went out there and cut that first record, he was making some noise around Memphis, around the Mid-South. Well, Coach Boyce, I don't know how to say this, but say it. He went to Red West, and he said, Red, you think you could get Elvis to come to our football banquet? Now, here's a guy that gave Elvis a real hard time on the gridiron and really kidded him pretty good, caused Elvis to quit the team. And so Elvis being Mr. Nice Guy, Red asked him, he said, sure, I'll come. But it even gets worse. So they get to the football banquet, and Elvis gets up and says a few words, and then the coach gets up, and they make a few little speeches and hand out the best player and the best defensive and the best offensive guy. And then the coach turns, and Elvis is sitting at the head table, and he says, Elvis, he said, we could really use some new washing machines in our dressing room. And Elvis looked up, and he said, okay, you got them. He said, Red, buy him some washing machines, I'll pay for it. But that's the type of nice guy he was. Now, most people would have told the coach to get lost, or say, Coach, talk to me later, or check with my manager. But he said, no, I'll take care of it. Then he turned around and he bought uniforms for the entire band, bought new uniforms for those guys. He was just a super guy. Even though the coach and a few other people were giving him a hard time at school, he let it slide.